I want you to get that you need to take care of you so you can take care of other people. I want you to take care of you so you can be a gift to your family. I want you to not be one of those people that stumbles around in life. I want you to be one of the people that says there is a consequence to every behavior. So when I choose the behavior, I realize I choose the consequence. If you think you're damaged in some way, you're going to generate results that second-class people should have. If you look at people that are really successful in business or really happy in their marriage and family, and you say secretly, well, that's for them, that's not for me, I don't really deserve that, then you'll never generate that. If you have a damaged personal truth, you will generate a lifestyle, a standard of living, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, socially, that goes along with being damaged. Probably going to think that maybe I'm a pessimist or maybe I'm a little paranoid. The truth of the matter is I'm not. I'm actually an incurable optimist, but I'm an optimist because I think we can prepare for anything. We always hear that life is a game, and I agree with that. Life is a game, and you may think, oh boy, it's not. You get a terminal disease or something, that's not a game. Yeah, it is. You have to be a player. Games aren't always funny. They're not always frivolous. They're not always for trivial stakes. Sometimes a game has stakes that are life or death, but they're still a game. In the game of life, I just have the belief that you're either going to be a player or you're going to be played. And my problem is if you're like me and you were raised by the kind of parents that I was raised by and came up through the educational system that I came up through, you were taught how the world should work, not how the world does work. Now, think about the difference. You were taught how the world should work. If you work hard, you're going to get your just rewards. And that on the playground, you always heard cheaters never win and winners never cheat. Well, let me tell you, that is exactly where that belongs, is on a playground with children. Because if you think cheaters never win, wake up. Cheaters do win, and winners do cheat. Lance Armstrong. I mean, come on. Wake up. That is just simply a myth. So I was taught how the world was supposed to work, how the world should work, and then I got out there in the real world and found out how it did work, and it was a whole lot different than what I was taught. And here's the truth of the matter. Your life, just like my life, is full of bad people. Bad people. There's also a lot of good people in it, don't get me wrong, but it's full of bad people. And most of us, and I was guilty of this for a period of time, most of us are stagnant. We're unwilling to take the initiative to get bad people out of our lives. We let days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and we just let those bad people stay in our lives. They have bad karma. They don't wish us well. They don't want us to succeed. They're jealous if we do. They drag us down, suck us dry. They try to take what's ours and use it for their own benefit. They lie, cheat, steal, talk behind our back, gossip about us, sabotage us. They're two-faced. They betray us. We all have those kind of people in our lives because they hide in plain sight. They're just everywhere. You've got them in every category of your life, and I'm gonna be asking you about that. I'm gonna ask you to categorize your life: work, home, family, recreation, church, wherever, and just see if you can identify where these people are. What I wanna do today is I wanna talk to you about how to spot them and how to defeat them. Knowledge is power, and I intend to give you plenty of both today. Plenty of knowledge and plenty of power. That equips you to live in the world as it is, not as how it should be. So, look, right, and because we're courteous, what's the first thing you do when somebody says, "Hey, what time do you have?" The first thing you do is you lift up your left wrist and you look down. Okay, so now you've taken your eyes off the person in front of you, put your head down, and put your hand in a position that's hard to defend yourself. And in that second, they strike. And the muggers tell me two things. Number one, they've now incapacitated the person because they've gotten them to take their eye off the ball. And they say then they've got about a 5-second window when the person is in denial. They say they're in denial about what's happening. Oh my God, I'm getting mugged here. Somebody just hit me in the head. Somebody just knocked me up beside the head. And it takes them that long to realize, oh my God, I'm being mugged. And in that time, they're able to get the advantage. They rely on our denial, our unwillingness to accept that something bad can and is happening to them. That's what I'm trying to say to you right now, to not let happen to you. I'm talking about crystal clarity when you're viewing reality and situational awareness about the people around you and your environment. I want you to be street smart. Think about these people in your life. I want to give you a name for them. They're called baiters. Baiters. Baiter. Baiter. B stands for backstabber. A stands for abuser. I stands for imposter. T stands for taker. E stands for exploiter. And R stands for reckless. Baiter. That's a new word. That's a new term I want you to put in your vocabulary because I want you to find the baiters because I'll call them up. It will be something really complex or whatever. And I think, okay, I want to make sure that I've got this right. I want to make sure I've got the cutting edge information. Some of these men and women are the editors of the peer review journals. So I know they've got access to research that won't be published for another 18 months. So I don't give cutting edge information, I give ahead of cutting edge information. What research has shown that you can get from Dr. Phil that you won't see in the journals for another year and a half. So I'm talking about OCD, believe me. I've got up to the minute information because I talk to people that know more about it than I do. There are some people that spend their entire career on that one disorder. I don't, but I know who does. So I bring these experts in. Now, when I say you're not going to confuse me with anybody else, there are people out there like John Gray. John Gray wrote Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus, or whatever the title of it was. I know John, very nice guy, a lot of wisdom. But you're not going to confuse the two of us because he's going to pat your hand and tell you it's going to be okay and why. And he's very effective at what he does. But we're very different. Very different. You're not going to confuse me with him or him with me. I believe in a defined product. And look, you may think my defined product is I'm a barbarian. You may think I'm the second coming of common sense. And you're probably both a little bit right. But you don't confuse me, and that's what I want you to decide. What is it about you that's unique? What is it about you that sets you apart from the rest of the herd? If you want to win, you're going to have to be aggressive. The meek shall inherit the earth. But as the old joke goes, who will step up to claim it? The meek may inherit it, but none among them will step up to claim it. I want you to step up and claim it. And that's number 4. Learn to claim and accept praise and acknowledge it in a gracious way, but do accept it. Now think about that. Every strategy you embrace, every action plan you execute should be designed to distinguish you in a positive way, right? I mean, you want to get noticed. You want to get ahead. I said you want to come up with an image that distinguishes you through your uniqueness, and you want to play big. That means you want to make waves, you want to make noise, you want people to notice you. And when they do, you're go the second obstacle, if you don't believe that you deserve the credit or praise, then let me assure you, others will soon begin to agree with you. Because anybody that's truly evaluating a person's worth, value, skills, and abilities, in their heart of hearts, they're going to say, they know themselves better than I do. So who am I to second guess them? They've known themselves since the day they were born. And they seem to know that they're not very smart, they're not very good, they're kind of lazy, and they don't really have ownership in the good outcome here. So who am I to second guess them? They're going to defer to you eventually. They may not say it to your face, but I can promise you they're eventually going to say it to themselves. If you lack self confidence, if you lack self worth, like I said, you teach people how to treat you, pretty soon they're going to agree with you. I hear you, Doc, but where's the line? I mean, does that make you a self promoter? Yeah, probably so. But if even you won't promote yourself, why would anybody else? I do Dr. Phil every day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. People ask me, is this worth watching? What do you think I say? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's just something to do. I don't know. You think that's what I say? Absolutely not. I say, I absolutely believe it's worth watching. We really work to destigmatize mental illness in America. We give people common sense information delivered to their homes every day for free. And I think, in fact, that it is the highest and best use of television. Is that self promoting? I hope so, because I intend to promote what I do because I believe in what I do. And if somebody sees me on the street and they come up and say, Dr. Phil, I just love your show. I love your message. I say, thank you. Thank you for saying that because we take it real seriously. It's great to hear from you that you take time out of your day to watch. That means a lot. Why would you not do the same thing in your own life? And I'm asking you to do that because that's one of the things winners do. Number 5, you must become essential. Now, this goes with being unique. That means that there's something about you that distinguishes you from everyone else, and you want to be noticed, right? But what I'm talking about now is in whatever situation you're in, you want to be perceived as essential. I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I have had the same personal assistant for 40 plus years now, and her name is Barbara. Let me tell you how essential she is. She knows everything about my life. If I need a passcode to get into the Nest thermostat at my house, I call Barbara. She knows what it is. If I need the passcodes to the streaming services on my phone, I don't know what they are, but Barbara knows. If the printer or the copier gets jammed at the office, maybe a lot of places call the company and say, this isn't working. All I've got to do is say, Barbara. She comes in and she knows exactly what to do. She can unpack it, deconstruct it, put it back together in the time somebody else would take to call a repairman. She knows where every contract is, where every file is, how to fix every office machine. She knows what every phone number goes to. She knows who to put through, who not to put through. She is essential. It's like you would feel if you lost your phone. If Barbara took a week and just went totally off the radar, I guess they'd just have to put me in a medically induced coma. She knows everything. She is essential. And if somebody said, well, you're going to have to cut back here, you're going to have to get rid of some employees, she would be last on the list because she is essential in so many different areas. She is a jack of all trade and a master of most. She is essential, as opposed to somebody that maybe is a specialist, somebody they do this job or they do that job. She has made herself essential. Do people perceive you as being an essential member of your sociogram, an essential member of your work group, an essential member of whatever it is that you're involved in? And if you want to be a winner, If you want to be an important member of a team, you need to create the perception of being essential. And I say perception because it's not just enough to be essential. You have to make sure that people perceive you as being essential. That's what I mean about accepting praise. If somebody comes and says, "Wow, sure glad you're here because you know how to do, well, everything." You don't want to say, "Well, no, I mean, everybody kind of knows how to do all this stuff." Are you kidding me? Say, "Well, thank you for noticing. I've been here a long time and I've made it my job to learn, I guess, every job here. So thank you for noticing." You want to confirm, "Yes, I am essential. Damn right." Common sense tells you that if they don't miss you when you're gone, chances are pretty good you're going to be just that, gone. I don't want you to just hope this doesn't happen to you. I want you to find actions you can take towards becoming essential, irreplaceable in whatever scenario you're in. And while we're talking about common sense, you want to guard and protect what you know. Do not give away the recipe to the secret sauce. Remember, there is no reality, only perception. So, to maintain this perception, you want to guard your unique knowledge. If you know how to do 5 things that only you know how to do, you really don't want to go teach 3 other people how to do those 5 things. Now, you may be thinking, "Well, now come on, Dr. Phil, I'm a team player. I want everybody to be able to do everything I can do." Well, okay, go knock yourself out. But if you want to be essential, if you want to be a player, if you want to be a winner, you are going to maintain some unique skills, some unique abilities, some unique knowledge that nobody knows but you. Now, I'm asking you to think about that. Does that make sense? Don't give away everything that makes you essential, everything that makes you unique. So, bottom line, what I'm telling you here is the secret to success is to know things no one else knows and guard those things you know that no one else knows. I mean, just be smart about it. When you get into the game of life, folks, this is chess, not checkers. And if you think that other people aren't playing this game with strategic objectives in mind, then you're going to miss the level at which life is happening. Don't be one of those that doesn't get it. This is chess, not checkers. Number 6 in your playbook is you must know your real currency. I just really don't like psychobabble. I don't like words that have been so overused that they lose their meaning. It really bugs me when I hear people talking about, "I want to empower people. I want," come on. I mean, empower has been used so much that it's too late because it is never too late. I said there were 16 things in the playbook. Number 14, you must deal only with the truth. You must deal only with the truth. Denial, trivializing things, minimizing things, that's for suckers. You have to deal with the truth. I don't care what it is that you're dealing with, whether it's parenting your kids, dealing with a crisis in your marriage, dealing with a crisis in your health, you have to deal with the truth. Winners deal with the truth. And when they deal with it? They deal with it at the first opportunity they have. They deal with the truth as soon as it presents itself. Now, that seems self-evident, right? Telling you that if you want to be a winner, one of your items in the playbook is you deal with the truth. You don't lie to yourself. But that's not as intuitively obvious as it may seem because we tend through something called perceptual defense to screen out things we don't want to see, we don't want to hear, and give our brain access to only those things that don't upset us. And you have to consciously overcome that. Now, let me talk about what I mean by that. And I guess it boils down to this. When you think about it, don't you know the truth when you hear it? Let's say you are really worrying about something. You're really worrying about a test result from a doctor. You're really worrying about your kids out on an icy road or something, and you're really worrying about it. And your friends are there, and they're coming by and patting you on the back of the head saying, "Oh, it's gonna be fine. Oh, it's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine." Does that really make you feel better? Because it doesn't me. It's never made me feel better. What makes me feel better is somebody that comes by and says, "Okay, let's think this through. Let's assume that it is not good news. What's our next step? If it comes back positive, what does that mean? What do you do? Monsters live in the dark. Let's turn the lights on and see what we have to deal with here." I will say that I have saved the item for last that if you mismanage it, can have the most devastating effect on your life. You must pick your battles and never let your opponent have control. You must pick your battles and never let your opponent have control. Now, let me talk about what I mean by pick your battles. Don't ever get in a fight that you don't need to fight. There are a lot of people that they just can't pass up a good fight. Argument, they just don't realize or recognize they don't have to react just because they can. There might be something going on at school with the teachers or the PTA. There are 500 students in the school, which means there are probably 750 parents. You don't have to be the one that fights that battle. Don't ever fight a battle that you don't have to fight. Now, you can think, okay, Dr. Phil, what you're saying is be a passive bystander. What if everybody takes this attitude? Well, if you look around and nobody is stepping up, then that's a battle you need to fight. You don't need to be the one that charges every machine gun nest first every time. You don't need to be the one that puts yourself at risk every single time. Don't fight a battle you don't need to fight. Fight your fair share, contribute, support, but you don't need to be the first one through the door every single time there's going to be a conflict. Don't ever fight a battle that you don't know you can win. Now, again, you're probably saying, "Oh, wait a minute. What are you saying here?" I'm saying if you can't win the battle, don't fight it. Why fight a battle that you cannot win? Again, I'm not telling you how the world should work. I'm telling you how the world does work. Why fight a battle you can't win? If you know that you cannot win this debate, this argument with your boss, then why do it? Go at it another way. Find another approach. Co-opt him or her into your way of thinking. But don't choose to engage in a battle that you cannot win.